Hello everyone, I know you all see this glass jar here, right? And you probably wonder, what is she up to now? This is not gardening. Well, I also preserve things, and it's summertime. The hens are producing, and I have an overabundance of eggs. Now, the sun, people talk about how their hens stop laying eggs in the wintertime, and it's mostly because of the sun. There's not enough sun exposure for them to lay eggs. Plus, they're using a lot of energy to keep themselves warm, so you get less eggs in the wintertime. So in the summertime, we need to worry about preserving our eggs. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to pickle our eggs, raw eggs. No refrigeration needed. None needed. So let's get to it. All right, first of all, I have a disclaimer. This is not an approved method of preserving your eggs. Although this has been done for, I don't know, hundreds of years. People have been doing this, but it's not approved. So buyer beware or preserver beware. You do this at your own risk. This is not an approved method. I'm doing this at my house, and I'm just going to show you how I did it. So if you all purified water, this is distilled water. I bought a distiller because I got tired of buying distilled water. This thing has already paid for itself. Distilled water is expensive. So the ratio is 1 quart of distilled water or purified water. I use distilled water to 1 ounce of pickling lime. That's what this is. Pickling lime. And you don't have to have this brand, but that's what I'm going to use. So the first things first, you need your scale. You're going to zero out your scale, right? A quart is 32 ounces. So I'm going to turn this thing to ounces, and I'm going to pour some of this distilled water in a clean jar of water. Now I know why I didn't. 16 ounces in a quart. I do some math. I'll be right back. I think I'm already overdoing this. Say 1 pound. What is this? This thing don't make no sense. 112. Oh, 112.0 ounces. Let me do it in grams. I'm going to convert it to grams, and I'll be right back. So I'm back, and I checked my math. So there's 946 grams approximately in a quart. So I'm going to change this thing to grams, and I have 795 grams. So I'm going to get it up to 956. Oh, a little bit over, but that's all right. You don't have to be exact because wrong. Look at this. Now, does that make any sense? No. No, Jamaica. No. So we're going to close this down. So we have our water in our jar now, right? Distilled or purified water. Basically, I use distilled water because distilled water has absolutely nothing in it. Now, you want to get your eggs. Do not wash your eggs. You want the eggs to still have the bloom on it. An egg with a bloom on it can last a lot longer than an egg that's been washed, believe it or not. The bloom protects the egg. You can sit these out for weeks without it going bad because the bloom, which is inconsistent, but the bloom is basically the amniotic sac on the exterior of the egg, and it keeps it from going bad. It protects the chick. Next thing is you do not want to use any eggs with debris on it. So if you get one that has something on it, just put it in another bowl. And I have a special surprise for you at the end, because we're going to go through these eggs and we're going to find one that is interesting. And we're going to hatch it, or we're going to try to. So next thing is we're going to take our pickling lime, and we need to get 1 ounce of pickling lime. So I'm going to put this back here, put this back on the thing, zero it out. If it lets me, it keeps on moving so it won't zero. Zero out, put it on ounces, and I need 1 ounce of pickling lime. Now, I don't like doing this because this stuff puffs up and I don't like breathing it in. So be careful when you're putting your pickling lime in. I should use a spoon, but I'm not going to. Not going to. I'm just going to have to be super careful putting it in. So I have 2 quarts, so I need 2 ounces of pickling lime. I'm still pulling this thing out of, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's get that in there. 2 ounces of pickling lime. So I'm going to open this up, right? Ooh. $1.5, 1.7, 1.8, 2 ounces. Almost exactly. It says 2 ounces of pickling lime, and I got all this white powder around here, which is fine. It's fine. Everything is just fine. So we have our 2 ounces of pickling lime in there, and then you can see it smoking. You gotta be careful with this stuff, right? I put the jar on and shake it up. This is just my step. Normal people don't do this, but I'm doing it because I don't like the puff. I don't like the you know, the remnants floating around. It's not good to breathe that stuff in. So now we're gonna open it up. No puff because everything is submerged, right? And we're gonna go through and find our best eggs. So if it has any debris on it, I'm putting it to the side. You want a clean egg, an egg that is clean, but not washed. And you're gonna try to put them in this way. They're gonna float. Clean egg in. Unclean egg, other side. Clean egg. And another thing that I left out is that you want to get these eggs as soon as possible. So these eggs are from today, and these eggs are no more than 3 days old. That one over there that we haven't touched yet is today, and this was, I think, yesterday. So just going to keep on stacking them, using one hand to get them out and the other hand to submerge it in the lime. And I'm picking out the clean ones. If it has any kind of debris on it, I'm not going to use it or put it in this jar. Just looking at it, this one has debris on it, put it right here. There's another, I have another bowl right here. So if it has debris on it, I'm just putting it to the side. Look at this one, has some straw on it, knock that off. And we could put this in there with the rest of the other ones. Don't wash it, don't rub the eggs, just pick out your clean ones. This one's not clean enough. Now I'm getting to the dirty ones. This one's not clean. This one is not clean. Jamaica, you gotta clean this nesting box out again. That's a sign when you start getting dirty ones that the hands are laying there in a dirty box. I don't think some of them were on the ground though. They're not laying in their box. So here's another one. This one is got some debris on it, so I'm gonna put it over here. These are Rhode Island red eggs. You know, I actually like the Rhode Island eggs. Ooh, I'm all scrunched up like this. I actually like Rhode Island reds a lot because of their temperament. Rhode Island reds are nice birds. The other one that I have, Miss Dum Dum, she's mean, and her chicks are mean. That stuff transfers. So, you say that well, most of them, some of them are nice, but there's some mean ones in there, just like her. Here's another one. This is a Dum Dum egg. They're green eggs. I don't want to hatch any more of those, even though they're pretty. They're pretty, but they're not nice. They are not nice. So this is a Barred Rock egg, which is brown. And that's a Barred Rock for sure. It's a big egg too. They've been around for a while. The older the birds are, the bigger their eggs get. And I have a surprise egg in here. Because I was like, did another bird show up in my nesting box and lay an egg? Because it's not clean enough for me. Because this thing is interesting. It's not clean enough for me. The ones that are not clean, I'm going to either, well, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it. See that? That's dirty. I'm not going to use that. I'm not going to use that. And this one either. There's a couple of in here that just have debris on it. I do not put that in here. Will not put the dirty ones in here. Now I'm going to get to the surprise egg. Look at that. I think that's one of Tiny's eggs. Either Tiny did this, excuse me. Either Tiny did this or another bird showed up in my hen house and laid an egg. Look at that little itty bitty egg. I'm gonna hatch. We're gonna hatch this. That's the surprise. So put this to the side. We've cleaned this bowl out. Here's today's eggs. Clean egg. Put it in the bottle. Clean egg. Put it in the bottle. And you don't just drop them in the bottle. Place them in the bottle, because if it cracks, you've ruined the whole thing. You got to take them all out. Put them in the fridge. Clean egg. Put it in the bottle. And I'm inspecting each egg. Make sure there's nothing on it that looks like, you know, it doesn't belong there. I want the bloom, but I do not want any additional stuff in this bottle. Just the bloom and the egg. That's it. Here's another egg. And I'm seeing if I have something on them, I'm gonna try to scrape it off, but it's not coming off. So it's gonna go on the other side. The rule is clean eggs only, not wash clean eggs, but clean eggs straight from the hen. If it doesn't look pristine, do not put it in your bottle. That's just my rule. And a couple other people, they'll tell you the same thing. Another egg. And if you look this up about glass jarring your eggs to preserve them, everybody has a different recipe. So this is just the one I'm following. That's what I'm saying. It's not precise. Some people use teaspoons. I use ounces. And I try to get as close to it as possible. I'm not super particular about it. These four are dirty. See that? So you don't have to fill this jar up every day when you collect your eggs. Just keep on filling it up. And if you have to add another quart, make sure you do the ratio. 1 quart, 1 ounce. So we're gonna close this thing up and put it with the rest of the jars, because I got a whole bunch of them. Be careful when you're moving this thing. Let's go to the other side and let me put it with the rest of the eggs that are being preserved. This is the ones that we had left over, the ones that did not fit the standard for glass jarring. Let's go to the other side. So carefully move your jar of preserved eggs to a place that you're not going to touch it. They say it should be a dark place, but I think this is good enough. Take my jar of eggs. And every day when I go out there and get eggs, look at my hand. Look at that. I'm going to keep on filling this jar. The thing is, I got really, really tired of having my refrigerator full of eggs, egg cartons. Unless I'm selling them, I'm not going to put them in egg cartons. I never counted how many eggs actually go in a jar, but I'll do that not on this one because I've already put eggs in here, but on the next one. I guess I could look back at how many I put in there when I edit, huh? That's tedious. So I'm just wiping the debris off the side of the jar. And I'm gonna go ahead and wash my hands because this is salt. It'll dry me out. Dry me out. I'll be right back. Well, I'm back. So I told you I was gonna incubate that egg, right? Chickens are sociable animals. You cannot just have one chick. It won't do well. You have to have at least 2. So I'm pulling out my smart incubator. Like I need more chickens, huh? Pulling out my smart incubator. Do not, if they don't tell you this on the box, leave it on, do not get rid of the styrofoam, all right? You don't want this thing directly on your countertop. It'll bring down the temperature and your eggs won't hatch as well. So you're gonna get this, right? And I'm not affiliated with this brand at all. You're gonna get a bottle, you're gonna get a straw, you're gonna get a thing to hold the bottle. The straw goes right here. So I'm looking, and then you're gonna get the extension cord, right? We're gonna put it right here where we can see it. Oh, then you're gonna get this part. For the first 18 days, I do not put any water in here. Then you're gonna get the bottom panel and you're gonna get this. So you put this on here like that, right? There is the hole right there for the water. We are gonna attach it, but we're not gonna put any water on it. So we're gonna put this back in the styrofoam, right? Get this thing on here, turn it around. We're gonna get this thing in there. There it is, we got it in there. We're gonna attach our straw. See the styrofoam? The styrofoam is set up for it, but they don't tell you that when you buy it. It doesn't give you that in the instructions. And that's an important part of the instruction. Put the straw right there where the hole is and go ahead and attach this to the other end of the straw. I just put the bottle there empty. It's called dry hatching, except for the last 5 to 7 days, you are going to add water. But the first 18 days, no water. No water. All right? No humidity. The only humidity that's going to be there is the humidity that's already in the eggs. You take this, you set that on top, right? Let's go and get our dirty eggs. Clean this place up, girl. What's wrong with you? So, I told you guys that I like Rhode Island Reds. I know that Rhode Island Reds eggs are brown. And the older hens lay bigger eggs. Now, this is the egg that I'm interested in. So I'm gonna make sure I put this baby egg, this little mama, I'm gonna put that in there. And I'm gonna get another egg, another Rhode Island Red, put it in here. What else do I wanna do? I don't know which one of the Cochins, because the Cochins are hit and miss. I don't know what egg is theirs or not. I do, however, know that the green eggs are dum-dums girls. And I don't want nothing to do with them girls. Them girls, they ain't loyal. Here's another egg from the I'm going to say, I want to say Cochin so bad. From the Barred Rock, not from the Barred Rocks, from the Rhode Island Red. So we're going to put that one in there. So right now I have 4 eggs. And let's see, do I have any that look like? I'd rather have the white bird's eggs. The white birds are nice and they lay well. They lay all the time. Let's do this one. This looks like this bird has been around for a while, so I'll put her in there. I'm getting a nice juicy eggs. So I got 1, 2, let me put that there. I'm gonna put at least 6 eggs in here. Get another juicy one, girl. Here we are. The older hens lay bigger eggs. They just do. So I'm gonna put the rest of these back in here, right? Carefully, right? These are for eating. Take your smart incubator. I'm turning it backwards because I need the plug to be close to the wall. Seat it. Make sure it's seated. All right. Put your top, put your top on. make sure this thing is seated. I'm not, yeah, it was. Okay. Seated, put your top on, your styrofoam top on. So you have the styrofoam top on the bottom and the top. Go ahead and put your bottle right here. Put your bottle right here. It's clear so you can't see it. Just for GP. We're going to move this straight back. And we're going to plug it up. The incubator is going to do all of the work for us. Did I just... Okay. So right now it's showing 89. It's rotating, right? It's rotating the eggs. That's why I like this thing. You don't have to come in and mess with it until you start candling it. It's going to rotate the eggs. It's going to bring the temperature up to about 99, 100. And every couple of hours, it's going to rotate the eggs for you. You don't have to touch it until you want to candle them. I don't candle them until about 2 weeks in. So what's today's date? That is the question. I'm going to wait for 18 days from today. Today is day 0. I don't count today. Do not. Maybe that's why I've been off by a day. I don't count today. I count tomorrow. Tomorrow starts day 1, right? Around the same time, day 1. And then on the 18th day, I pull the that rack that rotates, take that out on day 18. The rack, that top rack that rotates them, that makes them swivel, take the top rack off, put the eggs back on with just the bottom grill on there. And then make sure you put some water in this bottle so they can fill the cavity of the bottom of this incubator. And the chicks, you know, you'll start seeing humidity in this incubator. Don't worry about it. That's when they'll start hatching. So we've glass jarred our eggs, and I showed you how I incubate eggs, or how I start to incubate eggs. In 18 days or in 14 days, I'm going to candle it. And candling, you take a little flashlight or something, iPhone, that's what I use. And you look at it to see if the egg is turning dark. And if it is, that means there's this chicken there. If it's not, it's going to look like a rotten egg. It's just going to be, you know, swarrying around. But if it's opaque or you could barely see through it, sometimes you can see veins. If you can't see through it, there's a chicken there. If you see little squigglies like a road map in there, that's a chick. If you see something that looks like a rotten egg, it just doesn't look right. It's just floating around. You can hold on to it for a while, but I normally around day 18, I'll candle them again. And if it looks bad, I get rid of it because it could explode in your incubator and ruin the whole hatch. So this is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. Today we have glass jarred our eggs to preserve them without refrigeration. And I've told you and showed you how I start the incubation I start the incubation process. Day 18, put the water in, take that rack out, put them back in with just the flat rack, no rotation. On day 18, no more rotation, that stops. Because they're getting ready to hatch and you don't want that thing swiveling around and breaking their legs. So time yourself. Write it down in your calendar what day 18 is and write day 18. Take top rotation rack out and add water. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I hope I'm helping you all preserve your stuff. No guarantees on this. This is not an approved method, but people are doing this and people are paying. I mean, chicks are costing like $5 a chick, and it's not hard. If you buy fresh eggs, you could do this. If they have a rooster, those eggs are fertile and you can hatch your own. It's Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I thank you guys for being with me, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.